Welcome, Sacramento soccer fans, to the State of the Republic podcast. I'm your host, Luis, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about last Saturday's 3-2 loss at Hartford Athletic. Second game we play against them, yet another loss, but hey, my opinion, completely different game. So we'll talk about all the 5 goals that were scored. We'll also take a look at our upcoming opponent, which is Lexington. That game was actually going to be on Friday at 3 p.m. I know, it's a strange time. Not exactly sure why they decided to play so early, even for Kentucky time and on a Friday. But yeah, y'all already know we're going to be right there watching it, maybe having it in the background for some of us who work. Yeah, just be sure to have it somewhere playing. If you got to listen to it, then listen to it there as well. Of course, we'll take a look at the standings. How are things looking like after this past week? We only have a few games left until playoff time, until November is here, and we start to figure out who our potential opponents are. So we'll take a look at the standings and what some of our potential opponents look like there as well. All right. Well, as usual, we have our full State of the Republic podcast team here. First, let's go over to Natomas with Rian. How's it going, Rian? And give me 1 second here. There you go.
Hey Luis. Happy to be here on the podcast. Happy to be talking to the Republic. And I'll be more happy if we didn't see Hartford again this season. Like, can we just avoid them? Like, that'd be great. I just don't want to see them again. But yeah, happy to be talking more Republic with you guys. And let's go over to Kilgore with Jared.
Well, see you everyone. Yeah, happy Indigenous Peoples Day as the time of recording. Definitely want to give a big shout out to my Indigenous and Indomitable folks near and wide. And I agree with Rion. Screw Hartford. Let's not play them again. I mean, whether it be this season, next season, 2027, just never again against them. But other than that, I got a couple nuggets of joy. So compared to this past Saturday and then, of course, yesterday, and we'll get into some of that here. Let's head over to Elk Grove and check in with Sharon.
Hey, the Sharon, formerly known as Podcast Mom, you're almost probably going to say that. I don't know. Maybe you were or you weren't. But yes, also happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Notice what we are all wearing. Well, minus one. Somebody couldn't find his scarf, but that's okay. You are the bee's knees, no matter what, Rian. Last time you were the cat's meow. My girlfriends called me out for calling you the cat's meow. Today you are the bee's knees. So, and my girlfriends will all know, my little Jane and Chris and Tina, they'll all know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, here we are, ready to talk Republic. I agree with Rion. Would love to never see Hartford again. It's a rivalry I wasn't expecting. There are teams that we love to hate, and Phoenix was one of them for a while, and Uncle Ruckus. But now add another one to the list. I liked Hartford until recently. Anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Luis.
Yeah, no, I differ from y'all. I actually want to see Hartford in the USL Championship Final. And I actually want to see them at Hartford.
No. We got a host. We got to get paid back for the Jägermeister Cup Final. Screw flying over there.
Are we sure this is Luis? Is this some imposter over here, or
is there a wait? Let me see if I can put my hand over him. No, it doesn't.
This is a horrendous AI of Luis.
And he's not freezing, so it can't be Luis. And his voice sounds normal. But that's not Luis. Can you bring back? Can you bring back the real Luis?
Sharon, with the knees, not your back. With your knees.
How did that bus tire feel, huh?
No, knock on wood, it might actually start freezing, again, and then I'll be back there. But no, I mean, I actually think if we could, play against them again, of course, if the final was at our home territory, that would be amazing. But how great would it be if we won USL Championship at Hartford, though? And then we could say, hey, we won USL Championship. You just won the cup. So that's kind of where I was headed with that. How that
Well,
would be. That would taste better, I think, to win a cup over there.
Well, the only way that would happen is if they were to seed second or first. I mean, because right now we have the second seed in the West. In the East, it's Louisville and Charleston, first and second, respectively. So they would have to leapfrog both of those teams.
Oh, yeah. And if they were to leapfrog those teams, this would be even tougher Hartford, too, right? To beat that Louisville City, who's only lost one game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something else too. So we'll see what happens. But playoffs, I mean, it's a one-off game. Anything can happen, and Louisville certainly knows it because they've been knocked out before and had great seasons. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and go to Golazo of Gratitude. So, Sharon, go ahead and get us started as usual.
So, I want to give my first shout out to Sky River Casino and Resort, and I'll tell you why. I was there for lunch today. And we were treated, I was treated to lunch. It was a late birthday lunch. Also, shout out to my friends who did that. But it just felt so good to actually contribute to the tribe, Wilton Rancheria, on Indigenous Peoples Day. So shout out to the tribe, Wilton Rancheria, Sky River Casino. And, you can keep the $50. It's cool. I didn't need it today. Also, just continued Golazo gratitude to the club. It doesn't matter win, lose, or draw. It's really obvious how much we all love the club, and we live and die sometimes by the results of the club. To Jack Gurr for giving us a reason to vote again this week. So vote for Jack Gurr. And then to the three of you, all of you out there listening or watching, but to Luis, Rion, and Jared for always being here and always being present and available and talking soccer. This is just a real highlight of the week after the game. It doesn't matter how we did. It's just kind of fun to hang out together and do this, and to do this on behalf of the fans. We still need a lot more input with respect to, do you want to see something different? Do you want us to say something different? I did do something today already that I was asked to do. So that I was asked to do something specific and it got in there. Rion.
Yeah, Luis, whatever Sharon did, cut it out, I guess. I don't know what she did. For my Golazos, well, first off, it's fall. Fall be falling, autumn be autumning. The weather is here and I'm excited for it. We're just having the first rain of the season in Sacramento, so I'm super excited for that cool down that we've been needing. It's sweater weather. I'm ready to eat a lot of good soup. And the one downside is I'm going to be way more busy at work, but besides the point. Yeah, I'm just happy that fall is here. Another Golazo, some just good restaurants I've had over the past week. Dumpling House in Davis, Honey D's in Davis. Like Dumpling House, I always get like a good set of dumplings from them at the Davis Farmers Market. They're always there, and they're always good. Honey D's, some good Taiwanese food in Davis, and one more, Taqueria Los Mayores, down on Northgate in South Natomas. Solid Mexican place. That's my family's go-to. I always get it. I was craving some quesadillas, and they hit. And then one more Golazo to the show Survivor. It's back. Season 49 is here, and I'm excited to see what the season holds for us. Jared, any Golazos?
First of all, y'all need to stop hogging all the fall weather. It's been 80 to 85 out here all this past weekend, especially during Oktoberfest. October's supposed to be cool. So bring that cold weather over here. But as far as Golazo gratitude, first of all, I have a major Golazo gratitude going out to John Crawford, who surprised me with a surprise shipment. And I'll show it to you right here. A Huddersfield Town kit, which, like I said, I was not expecting, but all of a sudden I see some package coming out from the Central Valley. I was thinking it was going to be a different shipment from Stockton, but I'm definitely glad to have this. So thank you very much, Sean. Now, I'll put this on here shortly once I get a free chance to. Also, second glass of gratitude going out to the city of Kilgore for hosting an amazing Oktoberfest that I just mentioned earlier today. Plenty of beer, plenty of food. Unfortunately, plenty of degrees as well, as I mentioned earlier. But overall, a fantastic arrangement. And then also a glass of gratitude going out to Krista's Health, who've been helping out very majorly. I know I've got another appointment coming up here next month, but so far they've been excellent with keeping me up to date with my health situation going as far as that goes. And then also, because it's Thanksgiving weekend up north in Canada, big glasses of gratitude to the Montreal Alouette for giving me one bit of joy as far as sports scores, because I was able to stream the Montreal Alouettes beating the Ottawa Red Blacks by quite a bit at a home match on at McGill University. So thank you very much for letting me see that win when work was going a little bit slow today. And of course, also to the club, for putting as much effort as possible in this past weekend's match. Fortunately, things didn't go our way. Those are the biggest ones I've got for right now. Luis, what do you have?
I got two. I mean, the first one goes out to the team for the effort they put. We're going to talk more about the goals here shortly, but when you're losing 2-0 for any match, whatever minute you're in, it's always a difficult scenario, right? But strong teams are able to get a goal, especially before the first half, and then get an early goal in the second half. And regardless of what ended up happening there at the end in the second half, that's the kind of energy you want from any of the teams you support. So just go lots of gratitude to the guys who didn't let the 2-0 get to them there. And then one more, because Rian mentioned food, so I got to give this place a shout out because I've been there a few times. And if you're ever going on a road trip, say to watch an Oakland game, this might be a great spot to check out as you're maybe traveling there, depending where you travel to. But it's out in Pleasanton. It's called Pocket Sushi. So think about somewhat like sushi burritos, but about half the size of a sushi burrito. And just lots of great different ones, and also amazing French fries. And you can get them as a combo meal and such. So great place. Check it out whenever we play against Oakland Roots, or if you're ever out there in the Bay. It's some of the best sushi around. Yeah. All right, and it looks like Sharon had a jersey that she wanted to share. Oh, the same jersey that Jared has on. No.
And we're twinning.
Yes, we're twinning. So belated glass of gratitude. I can't put mine on because I told John Crawford what size, but US. And so I'm still on a journey to fit into this. It's quite snug. So think me trying to wear something that maybe Ariana Jacker's wife would wear nicely. This would fit maybe her. So, well, maybe not quite. I mean, but it's the right size number for US, but it's English size. So it's like two sizes different, smaller. Anyhow, I love it. I'm going to get in it. But I do love the fact that they have the 3 stars in the back. That was really cool. And it's just nice. I mean, they do things different there. I mean, even these 3 little symbols yeah, you know what you're wearing when you're wearing their kit. It's pretty cool. And so thank you, John Crawford. Appreciate this more than you know. I will get into it. It won't take me that long. Maybe by Christmas.
Yeah, and so far mine seems to be pretty good. I mean, it was actually a size that I kind of prefer, and also it leaves room for if it shrinks a bit, because obviously washing it, will shrink a little bit. So, but this will still leave some room, so that's kind of a bonus. But yeah, the UK and the Australian sizes, they do tend to run a little bit small, especially with us Americans.
A little. So just to say, in the UK, when I bought something there, I was a 21. And they go way up high. I mean, the way that I was 20 or 21, which is like, I guess, a normal person size like me. But the size I told him, it's like, yeah, no. So, yeah.
Well,
I'll get into it. Promise. Headed there. All right, enough talk about Huddersfield Town and their kits. Love you, John Crawford. You know, we are super appreciative of your brain power. You know, the other people that I really enjoy talking with after the game is Michael Duffy, and you know, because he's also in our chat group. He's a very, very interesting. He has good read on games, but I know those curse words are coming out of his mouth after the match that on Saturday night. I mean, I can predict his reaction. So we're sorry. We're all sorry that we didn't tie or win.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, some of us fans have to let out some curse words, right, to let out any frustration moment in our sport. So shout out to him for laying those out, and yeah, I mean, now I will say, as we like segue here to talk about last Saturday's game against Hartford, as I mentioned before, I mean, you're losing 2-0. It's a tough result. I don't know you guys have heard the saying, but I know in Spanish they often say 2-0 is like the most difficult result to like maintain, right? Just because you got a 2-goal advantage. If the other team scores early on, then that like psychological pressure is on you. And it seems like that happened here, except Hartford was able to wake up at the end, right? And have this like, opportunity that I think no one in that stadium was even thinking that was going to happen. They probably thought it's going to be opposite. We better watch out. They put the bus in the net because these guys are going to try and get the win after getting the tie so early on. So before we look at the goals here, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So first, let's go with you, Sharon. What were your thoughts on this game over at Hartford?
Overall, and everybody in our chat knew what I was feeling. From the get-go, I was a little anxious that we only had 2 official center backs with Freddie and Lee, and that we were kind of cobbling together other guys in the back line. Dominic Bonner, I wasn't comfortable. It didn't feel like a comfortable formation in the defensive. I love the fact that Blake Woolley was on the field. I was really bummed that we didn't see Russell Cicerone or Roro or JJ or Chibi. I know Chibi's on international duty or was. It's just like there was just something that was good. For me, it felt like it was going to be off, and it was proved to be true. Although we had good times with when we had the ball, but when Hartford decided that they were going to take it to us, it was brutal. I mean, the goals scored against us. I couldn't tell if there was anything we could do to prevent them except have that third center back, because the 3 do such a good job of covering for each other when there are gaps or holes or creases or seams. But Hartford exploited all of the little weaknesses. They have a momentum, and the announcers. So I listened to the broadcast that Hartford, I was on ESPN Plus. So I got to hear their sense of the squad. And they have apparently a chemistry that matches the chemistry from our 2022 series. We do have a great chemistry right now. I will admit our squad feels, when we're on, we have a good chemistry. But Hartford, there's something magical about them, and I mean, they've proven it to us twice that they have a magic touch. Granted, the end of the game ended sadly for me. My sister and I both love AJ, and just to see him bounced out of the match, it didn't feel good. It's like having Seba bounced out at the Cup game. It just doesn't feel good to have these guys bounced out. We've had more of double yellow bounce outs. I don't know. Rion's probably going to correct me, but I think we've had more than any other squad. It feels like it. Anyhow, that's that. I don't know. My feeling, it just, and I know Rion will say that something just didn't feel right. That felt a little bit off, but yet our guys still were able to tie the match, and I thought we could stand on that. until the very waning minutes, and then the brouhaha and the brawl and whatever. We take a breath. We're going to go to Lexington. Rion.
Yeah, I don't have a tracker for which team has more double yellow suspend like double yellows into like a red card, so I don't have a answer to that. But to your point with the two center backs, we saw Michel Benitez as a third for this one, and we haven't seen him start in that role since late June against Orange County in the Jägermeister Cup. So there's still some rust. He was still might have been out of sync, just in general. He hasn't played that role in a little bit. But my thoughts on this match as a whole were, last week against Hartford in the Cup Final, where it was like a real defensive showcase. And then when you take a look at this last matchup, it was real attacking. Like both teams came out firing in this match. You mentioned that the defensive setup was a little bit different than our normal one. I also want to mention the attack. We saw Jameson, Herrera, and Barano all starters, which was a full lineup change to the Cup Final. And these guys came out hungry. These guys were generating chances, and it was good to see that we could break down Hartford. We could break down a really stout defensive Hartford. We got our chances. We got some goals from it, but the defense, like, they just looked uncharacteristically not like themselves. Hartford's creativity and attacking in the final third was just wild to see. Like their passing plays were so quick. Like you said it, Sharon, I don't think we could have done anything different in those passing sequences. Like I think we played them as best as you could. But yeah, Hartford finished out their chances and converted 4 shots on target into 3 goals. Like that's what happens sometimes in this sport.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we finally had a full week of rest, I think definitely helped our side, and that kind of gave a little bit more energy and more fight this time around. The fact that we actually scored and ended up having to do so from behind. I mean, we had the chance of escaping with a point, but then unfortunately that well near last minute, Hartford gets one in, and it just makes it 2 weeks in a row that we end up on the short end of the stick from Hartford, this time at their place. But at least, like I said, at least this time with that extra rest for both sides of the lines for us, that at least gave a glimmer of hope. But yeah, our center backs, they definitely got overworked. Hartford, just like Rian said, I mean, just saw all of our weaknesses, and they were able to just nitpick and just dissect them with surgical precision, unfortunately. And that's something we've got to shore up, especially going up against Lexington. Some may say it might be a trap game, but we've got to be on top of our game. I mean, no matter who we're playing. I mean, we could be playing against Ventura County Fusion, and we still got to be on top. So just learn from what happened the past 2 weeks and build on it.
So Sharon mentioned something there at the end. AJ Edwards getting another red card, right? Or after us getting another red card in the last game. Granted, it was double yellow. I think it was a very clear card. Same thing that I said about Seba last week, I'll say about AJ. You don't do that at the end of the game, right? I mean, it was like a double foul, pretty much. So I think the ref maybe had grounds to even give him a full red card if he really wanted to in that note. Now, on the ref note, though, you guys remember Hartford goalkeeper swipes at AJ, right? I don't know if I would call it a punch. I mean, it could look like maybe it wasn't as strong, but still, it's an aggression. Aggression should be red card. I got to give a shout out to the Hartford commentators because they actually were unbiased and actually did call out and actually were really surprised. Even referred it to a Street Fighter soccer like scene going on in that situation there, but I don't know how the ref, they must have wasted 2-3 minutes of like dialogue between the refs. How did they decide to give a yellow card when they waste so much time trying to figure out what they're going to do? And granted, I mean, there's 4 refs, there's people there that could have seen that happen at some point. It was very clear, right? You were following every going on.
They have to weigh how much security is there to gauge whether they are safely going to be get off the field at the end of the game if they were to have red carded that goalkeeper, Siaha. Because I'll tell you what, you do that at the home, you do that to somebody's home, you're cruising for a bruising. And I don't know I know that their fans. I mean, I saw the Hartford drummer pummeling one of our fans at Hart Health Park. So you just don't know what their fans are capable of doing. I think the refs, they don't have VAR. So I'm not saying that they did this on purpose, that, that they didn't card the goalkeeper, but they may not have seen it. They had a different look at it, and AJ could have been acting. What AJ did initially is he went up to a player and he went up to the keeper and he pushed his shoulder. If you saw the whole sequence of events, he was reaching past another Hartford player to push at the keeper. So he had his hand on the keeper's shoulder, but he didn't really hurt him. He had his hand out there, and the keeper was pushing him back away. And then all the stupidity. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen this much disrespect from a opposing goalkeeper since Clement Diop when he was playing with LA Galaxy 2 back in 2015 or so, basically flying the bird at Republic FC fans some years ago. And the fact that, there was hardly anything done. I mean, at first I was hearing some chatter when some of the chats said that it was going to be a red card, but then it got downgraded to a yellow card. And I don't know. I'm not sure where the refs are during all this. I mean, yeah, they're quick to throw double yellows against us, but when we're getting assaulted and everything like that, they're just laying up in the cut and ordering a couple hot dogs and maybe a beer or something like that. I mean, I don't know. We need VAR. We need competent officials, but it's in the past. Can't change anything about that.
I want to add in, I'm trying not to sound disrespectful here, but Siaha just reminds me of Draymond Green from the Warriors for some reason. That very
Thank you.
big,
Thank you.
Emotional catalyst. On the field, on the court, whatever. He's I can't disrespect his play. He's a solid keeper, great keeper. But his antics, he seems to be the kind of player where if he's on your team, you're that's whatever, that's him. And then if you're on the opposing team, you're ref, what's happening here? He's one of those players, just seems like an emotional catalyst for Hartford and the defense. I don't know what the heck the ref was looking at.
That's funny you would say that, because I do believe that the announcers from the local announcers were talking about him being an emotional fire rod, that kind of thing, lightning rod. That's it. It's they know that about him, and so your analysis there, Rian, is pretty spot on based on what everybody knows about him. You want him on your team, not against you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then at the end of the highlights there, when we take a look at the goals, you'll see him at the end. Even Lee Desmond was trying to tell him, hey, dude, you won. Stop, with all this taunting. And I don't know if you guys caught that at the end there. But,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Lee, as the captain he is, right? He went over there, and I don't know, the Hartford guys were trying to move him away. They were trying to avoid, of course, the conflict there. But still, come on. You don't do that at the end. You won already. Go celebrate, but don't do that show, right? But just so the referee knows, stadium wasn't even at 50% capacity. There wasn't even 5,000 people at the stadium on Saturday, which is a little surprising, right? This is a team that won the cup, and they can't even fill a 10,000 seater stadium. But hopefully it changes for them, though. I'm not saying, because there's not that many professional sports there in the area, right? So yeah, hopefully they get more crowds, because they are the cup champions. So I'm just saying. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the goals in this match. And shout out here to Rian for once again sharing his screen here with the goals. So let's take a look here at the first goal that Hartford scores on us. And a goal that happens in the, I believe it's the 18th minute. Really quick play. Hartford player spots the player who ends up scoring the goal open. He puts a long ball over towards him, and the guy who ends up scoring the goal doesn't think twice, right? Like, he's in the right position. He breaks our defense. Michel, I think, missed his mark and left him wide open, right? And unfortunately, we don't have the right angle to say, was it offside? Was it maybe not offside or what? But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't, he left him right there, right? He let him actually control it and get right in front of Danny, who couldn't do much, right? I mean, he's going to score on him like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just super unfortunate. It's funny because in our chat, I was begging that it was an offside call, and Rion had to remind me, nope, that was not called offside, and neither was the other goal, which I thought, okay, they're both offside. But apparently not.
I mean, Sharon, I see why you would think this is offside. Usually, Michel Benitez is like a solid defender. He's around his mark. To see him get beaten like that with that much space, like you're questioning why he isn't offsides. But yeah, back to what I said earlier. You know, Hartford had some amazing like passing plays. That's a great long ball from Marlon Harrison to Sebastian Anderson, like pinpoint, beautiful from the midfield. Great run from Anderson to get behind, and solid finish to put it away.
I am not liking this setup here. I mean, the fact that Hartford set it up from practically midfield and was able to get it to an open player like this, I mean, they just burnt our defenders, and that gave them an opportunity to punch one in. I mean, it just felt just as sickening as the previous weekend with the goal in the 51st minute last or a couple Saturdays ago. I mean, once I saw this happen, you know, I got to thinking, yeah, this is going to be a long ride the rest of the match here. And unfortunately, as we will see later on, they just decided to add on to it.
Yeah, so more for the team to learn, right? Especially as we approach playoffs here within the next month, because a goal like this could kick you out of playoffs. And then we move on to the 38th minute, another quick play, right? And again, these players, they're quick, right? I mean, you give them some space, and they're probably not going to miss the shot. They're going to actually get their scoring opportunity. And that's exactly what happens here, right? The Hartford player gives him basically like a chest pass, right? I mean, I was trying to like look at it in slow motion to see like, did it hit his chest? Did he use his shoulder? What did he do? But I think it's a chest pass over to the guy who ends up being open, shooting a shot that Danny could never stop. I mean, it's on the opposite side of his of where he was at, you know. So yeah, that was the 2-0 in the 38th minute, and more mistakes were made, and again, more stuff to review for the footage that I'm sure Coach Collins is gonna review with the team and make sure that we don't make these mistakes come playoff time, because we can't be giving up goals this easy. And this goal also seemed like it was really easy for them, just like Sharon says, and we've said here before, the Mack truck, it happened again, and it made its way over to Hartford. And sadly, it wasn't for us; it was against us.
Yeah, I'm sorry I even brought up that reference, you know, years ago or whenever I started bringing it up, but it gets to the point of we looked uncharacteristic in our defense, because when Coach Collins first came in, his initial push for the guys, for this squad, was building the team from the back to the front, and defense was our thing. I mean, let's face it, Coach Collins, what position did he play, you know, when he was still a player? So I don't know. I always keep hoping that it didn't really happen, you know, because I'm an idealist. I just want us to have the happy ending always. And it just bothers me, probably bothers the players more, of course, to come away from something like this and have to learn how to fix it in the future, do you have to have your midfielders run their little booties off to really cover deeper? I know Roro oftentimes is found in the defense. I don't know if Blake Willie had made his way all the way back. If we can rewind and see the positioning of our guys, I don't know that Blake had he had not made his way to dump in once the ball made it out wide. We hadn't quite made all the recovery runs. Oh, somebody even fell down. So it's just, what do you do? I mean, like, how do you learn from this? In the past, we had a little bit more of a swarm. It's almost like we had the quicker coverage. The unit, when we move, so here's the squad that I really enjoyed. When we played Orange County, we played a rotated squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
That whole squad moved together like a unit in a way that I've not seen, because they were all trying to prove something. So when they all were pressing, the whole team pressed. Everybody supported everybody. When we had to drop back on defense, everybody moved quickly into a more defensive position to really do some protection. I don't know that I'm seeing that spark and that sharpness always. So it's like, do you play that rotated squad? We did have rotation, but do you tell the squad, hey, prove to me that you belong in this lineup? Are we back to that? Or are we just waiting for Roro to get better, Russell to get better, whatever the reasons were that they didn't travel with the squad? JJ, are we just kind of biding our time? I don't know. I mean, I can't answer any of that. Will somebody please let me know?
Yeah, I think this long ball that Hartford was playing, unfortunately, it kind of hit us, kind of like how my New York Jets get hit with something similar. If we're playing close ball together, I mean, we can handle them, but the fact that Hartford was doing this surprise long ball just threw us off our game. I mean, not only the first goal, but also the second goal. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot we could really do with it. Have them move at superhuman speed to catch up. I mean, if any other team, if they just progress the ball forward, not necessarily playing a long ball like is being shown here, we can hold our own, but just getting us off of our footing with these kind of long passes and opening up opportunities that deep into the attacking zone of Hartford, that's got us at a disadvantage, and that's got us forced watching the LA Olympics here with them leaping and flipping, doing handstands and somersaults when we should be defending them and getting our goals in. But, again, that's Hartford, just being disrespectful.
To your point, Sharon, about how the team moved as a unit against Orange County and how we're not seeing it here. On this initial challenge, it was Jack Gurr versus Michi Galina. The taller striker wins the challenge, of course. But if Gurr was going to win that, if Gurr loses that, which he did, where was that ball supposed to go? We have 3 Republic players standing at a distance, and the one player who gets connected to is Kyle Edwards of Hartford, and that should not be happening. Kyle Edwards, who is farther away from these 3, should not be winning that ball. Period. It should have been cut off at the first pass. It shouldn't have gotten to a second point. But Hartford did capitalize. Great creativity again with the long ball. Michigan Galina using his body. Kyle Edwards to combine, and Galina to get another goal for Hartford.
Oh, let's change the subject and go to when we scored.
Yeah, let's talk about the goal scored in the 48th minute by the man who should get goal of the week, Jack Gurr, who was overdue a goal for a long time. And what a pass by Dom, right? What a cross, and then what a finish by Jack. I mean, he didn't think about it twice, and there was no way that goalkeeper was going to get it, because I think everyone was shocked at what we had just seen, right? It's Jack with this wonder, almost volley shot. of sorts, right? And again, make sure you vote for that for goal of the week there. But what do you guys think? Jack getting a goal. I think it's been a while, right, Rion? Like what? When was the last time Jack scored? I think it was quite some time ago.
The last time Jack scored, let me see. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Come on, AI. Come on, AI.
We have
I guess
Las
it was
Vegas.
earlier this year.
No, yeah, I'm trying to figure. Yeah, so his last goal came in middle of May in that 5-0 dropping off
Wow.
Las Vegas.
Oh, and the goal fest. All right, yeah. Been a while since that goal festival.
Well, it must have felt good to be Jack Gurr at that moment. It must have felt good to just knuckle that ball in. You know, let's face it, Jack is a consummate soccer player. I mean, he is that guy. Everybody knows it. He's the guy. You know, we love him. We love all the guys. But, I mean, you get Gurr on the sideline near us, and we're just yelling, Gurr, 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 Gurr. We're incessant. We just love seeing him play because he just loves to play. So good for Jack.
And I'll be the first to admit I did shut the game off temporarily. And of course, when that happens, look what happens. Jack Gurr scores. And, you know, I just had to execute the curse, you know, just walking away from the match. And obviously it worked because Jack Gurr was able to slice in there, knock the goal in when we needed it. And once again, it's great to see that he scored, especially the first time since that 5-0 shellacking of Las Vegas, who I kind of wish we were been playing these back-to-back weekends, but, you know, not much we can do about that. But definitely great maneuvering here. We crowded the attack zone. Gurr was in the right place, right time, gets us back in the game.
Well, that's not a bad curse, saying it's the new Rion jersey curse. I'm not saying miss all the game, but hey, if we need a goal at Jared, maybe just leave a little bit and then come back and then see if maybe the goal happens.
It ain't the first time, and it ain't gonna be the last, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit honest here. When this goal was scored, I thought it was Lewis Jameson with the goal. With that positioning, I thought it was honestly Jameson. But great goal from Gurr. Great run, late run into the box. We're gonna talk about him later with his goal. But Bonner has been on a little bit of a purple patch lately, you know, showing that he is deserving of more minutes. Coming up with an assist here, but yeah, great late run in from Gurr to get us a goal before the half.
Yeah, and a critical goal, right? I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but 2-1, last play of the match, of the first half, and that's exactly how you want to go into the halftime, right? Just getting that goal, not being down by 2 goals. And then we move on to the second half, similar fashion, right? We scored towards the end of the first half. Well, we scored the tying goal there towards, was it the first 5 minutes of second half, 50th minute there, and who was the guy that also deserved a goal? Well, Dom, right? He just did that assist that Rion you just mentioned. He deserves more minutes, and you know what? I think he made the case in point. He needs more minutes here. I also got to give a shout out to Cristian Parano, who held onto the ball, spots Dom open, passes it over to him, and then Dom, just finishes the play there to get his goal. But yeah, what a difference Cristian makes when he does, all the show he does right there, and takes on the defenders, and then make sure that Dom is wide open there, right? To just lift it up and let Dom shoot it.
So Dom's got a freaking killer boot, right? That dude can fire rockets. We've seen both him and Lewis Jameson hit some pretty tough, unstoppable balls that are like lightning fast and zippy, and you put your hand down, you're going to break it if you try to stop that thing, if you're not well protected, right? So to see Dom do that, this is not his first merry-go-round with us to do something like that, but it's just wonderful to see him, get an assist and a goal in a match. So couldn't have happened to a better guy. And I'm glad. I'm glad for us. I'm glad for him. That's great spirit. And, it's too bad poor Chris Parano ends up getting thrown onto the ground. We're watching, for those of you listening, we're watching the replay of the huddle, the dog pile after Dom scored the goal, and Chris Parano's jumping on the back of Dom, right? and then the dog pile collapses and Chris Perano gets tossed onto the floor. It's just kind of comical, but and then he just lays there for a little while. Who knows? Maybe he needed a little CPR to get back up again. But normally I kind of bagged on Christian Perano because sometimes he holds the ball a little bit too long. For a while there, it was like, come on, just one touch, two touch, and pass the ball, because the ball travels faster than you can if you have an open player. That's my preferred. When I see the team play that way, Chris passing, ball moves faster than you can, move the ball. You don't have to move the ball. But in this case, Chris, it worked out well. One touch, two touch, three touch. We can give him 5 before he dribbles into traffic and loses the ball. But he didn't do that as much in this match. So happy for that. Happy for Christian Perano that this worked out really well to get the ball over to Dom. But we did not pick. Nobody picked any of these goal scorers. We were surprised. So, I think the only people who got points when we get to that part, because I don't want to watch this last goal against us, but when we get to the part of podcast winner dinner, 3 of us picked Sacramento for the first yellow, and we all got a point, and that's it. That's the only points that were awarded over the weekend for our little contest. Anywho, moving on.
I do want to add on Sharon here with Christian Perano's dribble. He's kind of the complete antithesis to what you normally want to see with the quick one-touch passing, where he'll just go on these long meandering dribbles. But the benefit of that is where he can do it successfully and suck up all the attention from the defense.
Bingo.
Right now he's surrounded by 7 Hartford players. He has all their attention, and that leaves Bonner wide open on the backside with no one looking at him to make a run in behind. The last defender is not even paying attention to him right now, and he doesn't notice Bonner until it's too late, and Bonner gets a good opportunity at the Hartford net. But Perano did a lot of the hard work in this goal. He deserves a lot of credit. And yeah, great team goal to even it up before, what happens at the end.
Yeah, no, Christian has that Latin American style of play. And while it might be contradictory to maybe the kind of play that we see here in the U.S. and Europe, I think, spot on. Yeah, like Rian said, it's much needed. And I will say for next season, sign more players from Latin America for the team, because it's a nice little combination to have a player who can distract the defenders, who can allow the rest of the team to run around, get open to, have an opportunity for a pass. And that's what Christian provides to us, but we don't have a backup for Christian, right, that has that similar gameplay. So I'm just saying, get another player next year who's also like Christian, so we don't just depend on Christian for that style of play there. And so, yeah, Jared, do you have any comments?
And I thought there was a whole bunch of mazapans, Duvalins being sold around because Christian was just selling the candy with that coverage. I mean, getting all of Hartford distracted and then passing it on to Dominic Vonner, and Vonner just taking advantage of it. I mean, that was an amazing setup. I would love to see more of that, especially the quick touches as far as that goes, because there have been numerous times where it seems like it's at the Chuckle Brothers set, to me, to you, to me, to you. But this one was just a quick couple touches, Christian, drawing attention from Hartford and then quickly tossing it aside to Vonner. And he was able to attack right then and there, getting us back on equal footing there, even if only for a short while.
Yeah. And now, as Rion shares here, the goal, let's talk about the goal that Hartford ends up scoring there. 94th minute. It's one of those, minutes where if you score a goal, in all likelihood, you're probably going to get the 3 points. And that's exactly what happened here, right? I mean, the guy who ends up scoring the goal, he just kind of flips around, manages to put a shot that didn't seem as strong initially. I think it may have gotten a little deflection by Jack. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where he just happened to be right there, and deflection ended up favoring Hartford there. But yeah, I mean, that's all it took for them to get the winning goal. Again, I don't know how you guys were feeling. I thought game was probably going to end in a tie, or maybe potentially we would maybe get the winning goal. But as the commentator said, and as we've said here over and over again, it's not about who deserves to get the win. It's about who ends up actually doing the shot, getting the opportunity there, just as they did in this situation here. And yeah, I mean, player who ends up getting the goal, I gotta say, I mean, he managed to pull away the ball to actually open up a great possibility for him to shoot. So, I mean, that happened.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a stab at this one. Another long ball in from Hartford. Those were killer on the night. The ball bounces around a little bit, doesn't get cleared, and it gets to Jonathan Jimenez. Very, very creative back heel to himself in the opponent box. Like, I gotta give him props for that. That's composure, that's class right there to get a yard of space in that deep of enemy territory. But yeah, the Republic just couldn't get the final clearance and couldn't clear the lines, and they got punished for that.
Yeah.
Got nothing to add. I mean, this was like a dagger, it just, and then, he takes the jersey off. It's like, gosh darn it, I hope you get a yellow card. Well, of course he got a yellow card, taking the jersey off. It's like, maybe it was a double yellow. Maybe he'll get red carded and ejected and we can like not be happy. But I mean, they earned it. They earned that goal. We kind of let them have a little extra fun at our expense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, as we look at here at the screen, then the red card for H. Edwards there towards the end. That, like I said, I think it should have been a red card just from the get go, not even a double yellow. And Coach Collins, I think, has to work on letting the players know that you can't lose your mind in the final minutes. Right? We saw it with Seba last week. We see it with AJ this week. We can't keep this going, right? Like, this can't be happening in playoffs because you don't want to be down a man, even if it's just like the minute before the last minute of the game. You got to have all your players because you never know. You might get a free kick, you might get a corner kick. You can't lose one. And not just that, right? But you lose the momentum that you have, that you build. You lose time. Some referees might be okay with adding the extra minute or two. Other referees might be, it's over, right? They might just be like, we're done here. They got the red card. They just blow the whistle and they don't give the extra time there. So yeah,
the thing,
don't do it, guys.
the thing that I didn't like is having their keeper, run over and get involved. He should just stayed back, and he just should have stayed back. And you can even tell that their coach was trying to get their keeper to back off. And it's like, no, don't add to the misery. You're already on a yellow. So yeah.
Yeah, and then of course the highlights they're showing at the end, as Rian was showing us here earlier, that goalkeeper ends up, just taunting everyone there, even like waving. I mean, yeah, was that necessary? No, maybe you could still give another yellow even after the game. So would have been nice if referee would have just been like, you know what? Here's another double yellow for you two. You're out. Because they could do that, right? I mean, they blow the whistle, but they could still pull cards even after the fact. But
yeah. Hey, thanks for and all the video.
Yeah, and I do have to say that goalkeeper towards the end with those actions, he put the ass in classless.
I mean, this also isn't the only case of that keeper, having a little bit of antics. We saw him in the Jägermeister Cup against Rhode Island, where he had a lot to say after their shootout against Rhode Island.
Yeah, so that happened, but let's go ahead and talk about the standings and how our things looking like, because we are close to the end of the season here. So first place, you got FC Tulsa, which FC Tulsa, by the way, they actually tied against Oakland Roots on one a few weeks back. They lost 2-1 against Indy 11, but the last 2 games they actually won. They beat Lexington, who we play against this Friday 3-0, and then they beat Uncle Ruckus, which, I mean, it's Uncle Ruckus. So, I mean, I guess as much as, unfortunately, it's the team above us for Tulsa beating them. Hey, we'll take that win for them against them. But yeah, so where I'm trying to get with this though is that unfortunately, with them getting the win, if we do the math here, so FC Tulsa has 53 points, 28 games played. They have 2 more games left till they finish their games, so they could potentially reach 59 points there. We are still in second place, 27 games played, 44 points. So we have 9 points remaining. And unfortunately, because of the tiebreaker favoring Tulsa, even if we were to get those 9 points and tying points to them, we would still be in second place. And again, this is why you need to beat those teams that are higher up, right? Because that's where it comes into play. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to keep second place now because as we see below us, it's threatening to go away from us if we don't get the 3 points in the next game. Because below us, you got New Mexico, also with 44 points, but they do have 1 more game, so they could potentially get to 50 points. This is why we need to win the other game. Hope maybe that they lose 1 game, and then we can look at the combination because we do have the tiebreaker advantage against New Mexico. Well, pretty much against some of the teams that are below us there, because below them you got El Paso with 40 points, 28 games played. They can only get a maximum of 46 points. So again, we talked about that magic number. Well, if you want to be in the top 4, you got to get 46 points there to maintain that top 4 position there, and ideally not going below 4th place there. But so if we win the next game, we can only drop as low as 3rd place. So that's as easy as it gets with that. Below El Paso, you got Uncle Ruckus with 27 games as well, 37 points. So they could actually get a maximum of 46 points as well. So again, get the win. You don't worry about Uncle Ruckus and you don't worry about El Paso. You potentially just get them to not even get anywhere above us there. Below them, though, you got Phoenix Rising with 36 points, 28 games played. They can only get a maximum of 42 points. So as of now, mathematically, we've guaranteed a top 5 finish, but we still don't have a home playoff for sure. So beat Lexington and you don't have to worry about anything else, and you clinch a home playoff ticket there. And then below Phoenix, you got Lexington, who we play against this Friday. They have 35 points, 28 games played. Then below them, you got Colorado with the same games, 34 points. And then out of playoff territory, you got Orange County, 27 games, 32 points. And then down there, pretty much eliminated at this point, Oakland, Monterey, both with 28 games, 28 points. And then Las Vegas Lights, who has probably been eliminated for quite some time now. 28 games played, 26 points. So pretty much now, Orange County is the only one that could potentially get back into playoffs there, since they're right there on the edge. But yeah, Oakland, Monterey, and Las Vegas have officially been out of the playoffs. So for us, if we guarantee a second place finish, which it's on our side to guarantee that, we have a potential of different opponents still. Too early to really tell who it could be, because it could be Uncle Ruckus, Phoenix, Lexington, Colorado, Orange County. But in all likelihood, it'll be one of those teams, which they're all strong teams, right? So we got to be careful, because in the playoffs, anything can happen. It doesn't matter if we host a match. We're going to be playing against a tough squad, because some of these tougher squads haven't been doing good. But we know once playoff time rolls around, Orange County could be really dangerous as well. So.
Yeah, and speaking on Colorado Springs, they actually had to replay their match earlier this evening, recording time Monday, given, I believe it was weather conditions that had forced the Charleston Colorado Springs game to be restarted earlier tonight. And I'm certain the Switchbacks were hoping they could just forget the result on Sunday and just move on. The final score on that one was 5-0. Charleston just crushed the Switchbacks. So these standings are reflecting that loss. So, yeah, Colorado Springs defending champions. Once again, another case of a championship hangover, as it may be. So things are definitely not going the way of the defending champions.
Yeah. Well, that loss may have impacted them too, right? Because Orange County, if they win, they're gonna move them down to 9th place, which I know a lot of us would be happy not having to play against Colorado though in the playoffs, because you never know. I mean, defending champions still, but if they managed to clinch that like playoff ticket there, you never know what can happen. Can
I also just add in? I just want Sacramento to clinch home field before we go into the final homestand of the season, because we have Charleston who's coming in on the midweek, and then Miami's the last game of the season, but I don't want to go to the last game of the season still wanting for a home field advantage. So we need to get a result against Lexington.
Yes, I totally agree on that.
So in the Eastern Conference, Louisville City, they've already claimed first place a long time ago. They still have one game lost. And then Charleston Battery, who we just were talking about, we're going to be playing against them. 58 points, 27 matches played. So both of them have already clinched the first and second pretty much. I mean, FC Tulsa could potentially be above Charleston if they were to just drop all the points there. Hartford Athletic, who we just played against, they're in third place in the East, 44 points. The same points actually that we have there. So if you want to be in the top 4 overall, you got to get those points. And we know that at the end of the season, should the first 2 teams in the East surprisingly be like eliminated, you want to be that first seed, right? At all costs, right? Whether it means us playing against Tulsa in the Western Conference Final and then the USL Final, you got to get those points. The guys need to be focused. Get as much points as possible. We want to see another final, even if it's just the Western Conference Final at Hartford Park. But it's up to you guys. Keep that second place and then get more points than the team that you literally just played, which is Hartford, so we can keep the top 4 positions there. All right. Well, as far as our upcoming opponent, as we mentioned, it is Lexington, which we can't take them for granted. Sure, they might be in 7th place right now, but they are trying to clinch their playoffs because they could still be kicked out, right? I mean, they're just on the edge there. Colorado just has 1 less point than they do. Orange County has a game in hand, so they could potentially, depending on how they did against each other, they could potentially be above Lexington there. So we are going to have a team that is going to be pretty difficult to play against, I would say, because they are trying to get their points to be able to be close to clinching playoffs. But the recent run, though, is as follows. So on Saturday, they lost at home against El Paso 2-1. We know that El Paso's trying to move up there and stay in the top 4 position. Before that, they lost against first place FC Tulsa 3-0, lost against New Mexico and New Mexico 2-1. And their last win was against Detroit City at Detroit. 1-0 was the scoreline for that. So, yeah, I mean, they've been on a losing streak, but again, this is their final opportunity to get something out of this because after our game, they're going to travel out to the Coliseum to play against Oakland the following Saturday. So they only have 2 more games. We're in the final stretch of the season, and these teams are going to do whatever it takes to get that playoff ticket, especially if they can get it in this following game. They're going to want to clinch it already on Friday. So,
yeah, and this is Lexington SC's first season in the championship, so they're going to have that extra hunger to punch their ticket for the playoffs. So once again, we cannot take them lightly because we could end up playing them in the first round. Because if Republic FC maintain that second seed and Lexington, if they maintain their 7th, we're going to be meeting them again later on. So we cannot treat this as a cakewalk. We need to put full foot to throat as far as Lexington is concerned. And then going up to Louisville, they've not only secured first place, they've also secured back-to-back community shields, more or less, with that win. So they've got the best record in the regular season. We just got to hope we can at least keep second and secure that home field advantage for the playoffs.
Yeah, and let's remember that Lexington, when we played against them at home, right? I think it was that Stateford game, the 0-0 tie. They had a red card. I think early on, I think in the game, they had the red card, right? And we couldn't score a goal against them. I remember. I think that's one of the most frustrating games of the season to know that we dropped the ball. It could have been an extra 2 points there. All right. Well, the moment that you three have been waiting for, if it was up to me, I would just say, like, let's not even talk about it, and we'll give a recap next week about how you guys did. Podcast winner dinner, how we did here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. In the game against Hartford here in the league play, as Sharon mentioned earlier, Sharon, Jared, Rion got a point for guessing Sacramento game, the first yellow card. I tried to go with Hartford again. I think in the Cup, they were the team to get the first yellow card, but this didn't happen this time here. So they get their points. So standings are as follows. So Sharon is still in first place, 36 points, but Rion is right there, 1 point behind, 35 points. And then I'm in third, 31 points, but Jared is getting close to me there with 30 points. So we are all in our 30s now. So we are still close to each other, and anything leading up to the final stretch of the regular season, anything can still happen in this contest. So we should all be proud of ourselves here because we're letting everyone have a really interesting end of the season finale to this contest, which I don't know, it might end up being that last playoff game that decides everything.
I think at this point, the trophy's going to stay out west.
You never know with bonus points. You just never know. You never know. Because I already counted out with respect to any of those bonus points that we have in the, whatchamacallit, who we picked for the leading, whatever, assist leader, Yellow Roses. Or
yeah,
whatever.
Category winners, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of, it's all messed up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although, Dominic Bonner, keep getting more goals. Maybe I'll get it.
Yeah, anything can happen there. I still see the Trevor Amon as the backup. Man.
What a time.
We had high hopes. We had high hopes. Those of you who picked Russell, I mean, that's not a bad thing. So there's some bonus points sitting there. Dang it. Yeah. And then the yellow cards. I mean, didn't we say something in the very beginning that they had to have played 75% of the matches in order for it to count?
I don't remember.
I don't remember what's given a percentage.
I thought there was something about that. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Either way, I think Luis Felipe is probably real far off, sadly, because he hasn't played as much this season. Yeah. So, and then Justin Portillo, I mean, he's been, I don't know what's been going on there.
No.
But I mean,
but none of us, I don't think any of those guys are leading the yellow card. I don't think anybody picked the right person for yellow cards. It's either going to be Roro, Seba, or it would be Roro, Seba. We just saw this stat, Rion.
For yellow?
Yeah, for the team leader of yellow cards.
I believe Benitez is the leader right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Michelle?
Yeah.
Has the most yellow cards? Nobody picked him.
He's the only one that's been flirting with a suspension for yellow card accumulation, but he's gotten 2 good behaviors, so he's fine there.
Okay. But I mean, overall, we look at the total number of yellow cards to determine if any. So none of these people will be at the top of that list. Justin, Russell, Luis Felipe, none of those guys are going to be at the top of that yellow card leader list. So nobody guessed right there, as far as I know.
Yeah, so now leading goal scorer and assist leader were probably the
right. So, and I picked Ryan Spalding as my assist leader, just figuring, hey, the coach likes him. Yeah, that's not going to work out for me. You guys are probably going to get the bonus points for Jack Gurr, although I don't know who's the leader on assist at this point with respect to our club. Is it all competitions or league?
Yeah, that's the question.
All competitions, yeah.
All competitions.
competitions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting close to having to look at these bonus points, everyone. And I think each one of these, if you win one of them, it's a 5-point bump, right? Luis, is it 5?
Yeah, 5 bonus points. So say Jared gets 2 points in this next game or something, you never know, he might move up with the bonus points. Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying. So after the assist leader, is that the only other thing? It's the goal scorer, assist leader, and yellow cards. So those are the 3 categories for bonus?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I gotta come on, Dominic Vonner. At least you can give me something. Come on, Dom. I know you're not listening to this, but if anybody is, keep feeding Dominic Vonner the ball.
Just want to add, I think it's Roro who's the current assist leader. I think Gurr is like really close behind though.
Okay. In all competitions. Okay.
All competitions.
All right.
Roro would have been a good pick too. Yeah. I mean,
nobody picked Rowe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get our predictions for the game against Lexington. So, Rian, you want to start us off this time?
Yeah. So for Lexington, we played them to a 0-0 draw in the last match we saw them. They're gonna come out wanting to win this match, of course, for their playoff chances. But I see Sacramento going on the road and winning 1-0. For goal scorers, okay, that's a real question because this last lineup kind of threw a wrench in the works. So I don't know who actually is going to be rotated in. I'm gonna go with a solid Russell pick. Let's see if he actually shows up. If he doesn't, I'm gonna go with Lewis Jameson as my backup. For assists, I'm gonna go with Jack as my first. With who do I want as backup? I mean, Vonner has been running real hot lately, so
stop reading my book.
Stop.
I don't want to undo my compliment of you being the bee's knees. Stop reading my book.
Let's see. Yeah, let's go. No, let's go Russell as my backup. Lexington isn't a team that draws a lot of yellow cards, so I'm gonna go with Sack as my first yellow. And Sharon's waving her arms in the air. And for first yellow, I'm gonna go with let's go with Benitez.
Thank you for not picking Seba.
For mine, I'm gonna go with the Sack 2-1 win. For the first goal scorer, I'm actually gonna go with the Corey. I have a feeling he might start the match. As a backup, I'm gonna go with Russell. For the first assist, I'm gonna go with the Dominic. And if he doesn't see the pitch, then I'm gonna go with Roro. For the first yellow card, I'm gonna go with Lexington, and then for the player to get the first yellow card, I'm gonna go with let's go with Lee. All right, Jared.
All right. Well, given the struggles that we've had the past couple of weeks, I'm going to say if there is any scoring to be done, I'm going to say we at Sacramento ends up winning 1-0. First goal, I am going to go with Dominic Vonner for the goal. If he doesn't see the pitch, then I'm going to have to go with Russell. Then assist, I am going to go with Jack Gurr, and if he doesn't get the job done, then I'm going to say Blake Willie. Somehow Lexington ends up getting the first yellow, and for first yellow for Republic, I'm going to have to go with Corey Bennett.
Oh, effing Corey. Sorry. Hey, not a bad pick for a yellow card, that's for sure. I forgot about him. My score line is going to be the same as Louise. Still optimistic, kind of the way that more optimistic than Rion, because Rion has him at a 1-0. I've got, like Louise, 2-1 Sacramento. My goal scorer, I'm going to put Seba in there, and if he doesn't see the pitch, I'm just like Rion. I think LJ is my backup. Assist is going to be Jack with a backup of Dom. I got whiny there for a little bit. Sorry, Rion. And then my yellow is going to be Sac, and it's going to be Seba because, who knows? And watch, Seba won't start, so I wish I could get a backup. We'll see. Okay.
Either way, I think with this podcast winner dinner, we may have a meme already. The Mr. Bean looking at the exam paper between Sharon and Rion.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does seem like they week by week they're trying to counterattack some of those points right there, and it might backfire on them though, Jared. They might be seeing the basement in 2 weeks from now, so you never know.
We'll see. We'll see.
God, I wish I knew who we were taking to Lexington, though, because it was, to Rion's point earlier, to see the rotation took us, I think, all by surprise. To not see Rowe, to not see Russell, to not see JJ. It's like, why? What's going on? I want to know if they're hurt or if coach just basically said, stay home.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, because it was surprising not to see all of them like on the pitch there, not even on the bench, and so yeah, I just kind of wish they would be more open to telling us, right? Just like I know we've said this before, but just like a few years ago when they actually would say, "Here's the injury report. This is what's wrong with them," and we don't need all the details, but just let us know, right? They are not going to be in this match.
Yeah.
They're injured, right? Or
I have a
personal
little
reasons.
favor. Rion, you have the post-match notes. Could you just give us a capsule of what Coach thought post-match?
Yeah, I haven't actually put it right here. So he did. Okay, so I can just read the quote right here on Hartford's match. Quote: I think there's so much happened in that game. In general, a fantastic performance early on. Hartford was very clinical, and we were poor in a couple of situations defensively, and we missed some really good opportunities leading up to that. Our goal before halftime, I think, was well-deserved, and then we scored a great goal coming out of the second half. Then think there were 2 or 3 really good opportunities to go ahead, and then the game definitely became very fractured. I think there's a couple incidents that really should have gone differently, and we should have been playing against 10 men. We don't think we cover ourselves in glory with Hartford's 3 goals in terms of our defending, which is normally very, very good. But I have to say, I think everything out of those 3 moments was very good. So it's very strange to be in a situation where we're taking nothing from a game where actually we probably played some of our best football.
Yeah, he's not wrong. We actually did, right? Especially that second half. I mean, that was so much different than that first half, but I think overall in the game, we deserved the win.
Thanks for pulling those notes up. I appreciate that. I don't know if they interviewed Lee or if there were any other notes, but, just hoping that the guys feel recovered and refreshed going into the next travel weekend. That they can put this behind them. Yeah.
And it's going to come to them real quick, right? It's going to be an abnormal week because we usually don't play on Fridays.
Right.
At 3 p.m. of all times too. So, just make sure that you're tuned in. Don't miss it because I think a lot of people, if you don't realize it's at 3 p.m. on Friday, you might
I'm going to the watch party, dude. So for season ticket holders, for legacy members, they're hosting a watch party, invitation only. So that's at Sky River. I'll be there.
Great. So we got kickoff right as I get out of work on a Friday. So that means I'm
plug it in.
I'm going to be running across the pedestrian bridge to get home, more or less. So no time to get drinks or nothing like that.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure why they decided to play at that time, right? That's 5 p.m. local time, isn't it?
Well, 5 p.m. Central, but because I'm trying to think, Lexington is Eastern time, if I believe, so that's going to be 6 p.m. over there.
Are they already? Okay. I wasn't sure if they were there. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, so 6
They
p.m.
are allowed to have a game start at 6 p.m. on the East Coast, Luis.
Well, I just feel like for fan attendance, 7 p.m. is a better time, but
Maybe the traffic isn't bad. Maybe they're easy peasy,
It's not like Cincinnati.
oh yeah, that's true. It's Kentucky, right? So maybe
Yeah.
it's a breeze going through and all that, and yeah. Or maybe it's a strategy so we don't they mess with our schedule, and then we're like, all right, well,
All right, quit welching or quit whining. Let's go.
let's get the win, even if it's at that time, because it'll be at the almost time that we play at usually. All right, y'all. Last final parting words here before we say have a good night and tune in on Friday at 3 p.m.
Bob Lilly.
Yeah.
I'm stealing Jared. Jared, let's get Jared right now because he wants to talk about Bob Lilly and Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
All right. Now, I've got my personal reasons for thinking Western Pennsylvania is cursed. At first, there's Pittsburgh pizza. Go ahead and Google that, although it's still not as bad as Altoona pizza. But just going on this, this was just made aware to me on this past Saturday that Bob Lilly has been placed on administrative leave effective immediately this past Saturday. There was a statement from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, not a whole lot of detail going into this. So there's a lot of speculation as to what's going on. Some folks have stated that Bob Lilly's coaching style, it's a bit brash. I mean, possibly not exactly abusive as far as this goes, but there have been some folks that have been saying that his coaching style rubs some folks the wrong way. One item that I've seen on Reddit, and once again, this is all speculation. Yeah, so we don't know the actual true situation because the Riverhounds have stated there would be no further comment. There was a Reddit source that says, quote, "Yesterday after the game, my friend and I were speaking to a player who shall not be named during the autograph session. They are very tight because they are both immigrants from the same country. He said one of the other players, and he doesn't know who reported Bob to the USLPA over training practices. He said this was controversial and some people agreed and others didn't. Apparently Bob was very difficult to play for," end quote. Now, once again, this is just this could be second-hand or third-hand information. It may not even be true, but Bob Lilly, for those that may not know, he's a pretty legendary coach. He actually hit the 100 win mark before Coach Briggs, before Coach Collins. So he's kind of up there in USL lore. So for him to be placed on administrative leave, there's got to be a lot of questions. If it was health-related, obviously, it'd be a different route. The Riverhounds would have said that Bob Lilly is stepping down for health reasons. Please respect his privacy, but it's not anything like that. Administrative leave, that's going to mean something is either going on as far as maybe being reported or he's done something quite negative. The only thing we can really say for sure is they already have their interim head coach for the rest of the season intact. So we're just going to have to see if there's any more details that come in. And as far as that goes, Go Republic and Wado from Indigenous Peoples Day.
So, basically, Go Republic, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. And yeah, I'm not going to say cue the music yet because, I could, and that would cut off Rihanna and Luis. So I'm not going to do that though.
Yeah, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Also, just keep an eye on the site. I already have the match recap up for the Hartford match, and I'll be working on the Lexington match once that one is over. And Go Republic.
Well, I'm going to say also happy Indigenous People Day. And again, game is on Friday. Check it out. If you have to listen to it because you're working, then listen to it, have it in the background. And that's hope that we get those 3 points so we can guarantee a home playoff. And so for all of you who like to plan in advance, you can already have a potential day of when that first game might be and start to plan your weeks around that and in November and such there, and maybe some rainy days in Sacramento. But I do want to apologize from last week because we actually had some technical difficulties here on my side. And so I wasn't able to post the video version of the podcast. I was freezing up a lot. And also my audio, for those of you who listened to it, it was pretty choppy. That's why there was a really late upload from me there. But this week, though, this episode's going to be posted right here as soon as we're done recording. We're going to get it posted here. So we'll have that, and we'll have the video version as well. So we're not gonna give up on video. So just so everyone knows, that was just the last week. We're still gonna have video versions of the podcast. So as usual, check out sacsoccerpod.com where you could listen to the podcast. You can watch the podcast episodes. You can go check out Rian's All This Quail blog. He's posted so many blogs there, so go and check him out whenever you get a chance. Also, if you want to leave us a comment, you can leave a review on there. You can leave us a voicemail or contact us as well if you have any questions or if you have your thoughts on anything going on with Soccer Republic or Central Valley Soccer in general. We are getting close to playoff time, so we're always curious to hear everyone's thoughts on the team as we get closer to that first playoff match in November. But with that being said, thank you so much to everyone for listening or watching if you watch the video version of the podcast. And you'll hear us or watch us next week here on State of the Republic podcast.
Now we're going to cue the music. Good night, everybody. Or good day.
Have a good one.